India's supersonic medium-range surface-to-air Akash missiles were tested on Wednesday successfully. It intercepted fast-moving targets in ripple mode in a test carried out from a defense base in Odisha. The missiles were launched from the integrated test range of Chandipur in coastal Balasore, about 230 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. It was tested on towed body targets of Lakshya pilotless target aircraft moving at low altitude for boundary and ripple mode missions. Well, for more on this story, I'm joined by my colleague Nolan. Nolan, a very important test for the, defense system of this country.
In fact, it's extremely important. If you remember, in the month of February, it was not exactly completely successful because out of the test that they conducted from the same place in Balasore, in Odisha, off the coast of Odisha, not many were successful. But this time around, the Indian Air Force personnel, for the first time, this is what they say, successfully test-fired the surface-to-air nuclear-capable supersonic surface-to-air missile, and this was in ripple mode from the integrated test range of the Odisha coast. Now, defense sources tell us that 3 Akash missiles were launched from the test range at Chandipur on sea. Now, a tow body was first released from the Lakshya pilotless target aircraft moving at what they call low-altitude far boundary, and the missile successfully intercepted the fast-moving and maneuvering small targets. Now, what's important over here is that DRDO personnel did not test this, but rather the Indian Air Force personnel tested it. Now, it's also, again, very important because the Army wants to induct this. It has been delayed for a long time now, but considering the fact that with these tests that are now successful, the Air Force has already inducted it. The Army is on the verge of inducting it in huge squadrons. We are told that the amount now, as of now, is about 23,000 crores. That's the production orders.
Nolan, and where are we going to expect these missiles, in fact, being placed?
Now, as of now, we are told that all these missiles will be placed in the northeast. Now, all the old Russian missiles are being actually changed to the Akash missiles, and we are told that the Indian Air Force and the Indian Army have been wanting these missiles for a very, very long time, and slowly they have been inducted in those areas.
Well, thank you, Nolan, for joining us with all those details. A very important test for the defense establishment of the country, where they've tested the Akash surface-to-air missile. It's a 25-kilometer supersonic surface-to-air missile, which is expected to, in fact, target moving targets, especially with regards to enemy aircraft. The Bhagyalakshmi scheme ran into trouble, and that is when the government came up with a solution. But now that solution too has run into more trouble. Here is the report.
All these people who have gathered here have one thing in common. They all have daughters. They have applied for grants under the Bhagyalakshmi scheme, but all of them are in a dilemma. They need to submit marriage certificate along with the application before receiving the grants. After having seen numerous irregularities, the government has now made it mandatory to submit the marriage certificate to benefit from this scheme. But now that seems to be spelling more trouble.
ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಭಾಗ್ಯಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ದು ಇದು ಬರ್ತ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊಂತಿದ್ರಿ BPL ಕಾರ್ಡ್ದು ಬಿಲೋ BPL ತೊಗೊಂತಿದ್ರು. ಇವಾಗ ರೇಷನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ನು ಭಾಳ ತಿಪ್ಪಲಾಗ್ಯದ್ರಿ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ. ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಇದು ಮಕ್ಕಳದು ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಬೇಕಂತ ಕೇಳಕತ್ತಾರ್ರಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಮೊದಲು 10 ವರ್ಷ 15 ವರ್ಷ ಆದರೂ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಜನ ಹಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ. ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಇದೊಂದು ಕಾನೂನು ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
As such, the scheme has run into trouble with people not receiving grant at the promised time, but now there is new trouble altogether. It is being alleged that the scheme initiated by the BJP government is being amended by the Congress government so that they could take the credit. Also, since a marriage certificate is compulsory, it is being alleged that middlemen at the sub-registrar office will now make merry. It is really appalling to see such a good scheme run into trouble. All the government had to do was to ensure the proper implementation of the scheme. But in an attempt to gain political mileage, they have caused innumerable hardships to parents. It now remains to be seen how the government plans to solve this issue. Sidhu Biradar for News9, Raichur.
They were two brothers who chose an entirely different line of work, but now their paths have crossed. Take a look as to who we are talking about.
Meet DV Suresh, a senior station master, Nandikuru railway station in Udupi Taluk. Do you know whose sibling Suresh is? Well, Suresh serves as a station master, but his brother is a railways minister. DV Sadananda Gowda, the railways minister, in the nearly sworn-in cabinet, is Suresh's elder brother. Suresh joined the railways in 1985 and has worked in many stations including Goa, Pune and Hubli as the assistant station master. Suresh has now completed 4 years of service as a senior station master in Nandikuru railway station. His brother's elevation has brought joy to him. He says that Sadananda Gowda has not changed a bit despite becoming a cabinet minister. Even when Sadananda Gowda was the MP from Udupi Chikmagaluru Lok Sabha constituency, he made sure to drop by at Suresh's house whenever he visited the constituency.
ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಎಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಗಾಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದವರು ಅವರು. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಗುರು ಅಂತ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂದೆ. ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೊಂದು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂಥರ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ ಈಗ ಪುನಃ. ಮುಂದೆ ಕೊಂಕಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಟೀಜಿಯಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್, ನಮಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದೊಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಉತ್ತರಾಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಚಿವರಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣನವರು ಬಂದದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೂ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. ಒಂದು ಥರ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ.
Celebrations are in the air at Suresh's house. Members of Suresh's family are awaiting Sadananda Gowda's visit. Preparations are in full swing as he is expected to visit next week.
ಅದು ಈ ವೀಕಲ್ಲೇನೋ ತಾಯಿ ಅಮ್ಮನ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಊಟ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಂತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವರ ಅಣ್ಣ ಊರಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಅಣ್ಣ ಬರುವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬನ್ನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ, ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದರು ಬನ್ನಿ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಬೇಡಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ರಜೆ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ, ತುಂಬ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Suresh has got the opportunity to work in the ministry headed by his own brother. But he says that the elevation of his brother as a railways minister will not change the way he functions. Arabilachi Yogaraj, News9, Udupi.
Actor Ambarish is celebrating his 62nd birthday in style at his residence, where fans have gathered in huge numbers to wish the rebel star all the happy returns of the day. A cake was cut in the presence of the actor among slogans of wishing the rebel star hundreds of years more. Fans thronged the residence of the rebel star, and in fact they were quite elated to see the rebel star, and he in fact gave them an audience where they talked about his new movies that are going to come up, and also about his health and how well he was doing. And in fact a lot of elated fans were there at his residence. They in fact thronged at midnight itself so that they would be able to catch a glimpse of their rebel star.